Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is going to be super similar to the last couple of readings, where I'm just going to be selecting a few cards and seeing what themes and messages come out that you need to hear at this time, okay? So I suppose there's no time like the present. We'll crack on. We'll start with the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and these cards are a little bit big to shuffle, so I'm kind of just splitting the deck, and we've got two, well, I've got three stuck together there. We'll just grab that one. Okay, we have, oh wow, what a card. I don't think I'll be able to show you guys this card because, well, she's naked, but we have Golden Opportunity, and that's what the card is called. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Okay, what a great card. So I'll just describe the scene to you. She is a gorgeous brown-skinned woman with this afro hair, and she's got like shells around her, and she's in the middle of a oh, she's a mermaid. Oh wait, I can't tell whether she's a mermaid or not. There's quite a bit going on, but she's in the sea, and in the background there's kind of a dolphin. And it just talks about, like, the card in itself is a very prosperous card. There's lots of water, which for me is about abundance. There's the dolphin in the background, which is about this childlike play and freedom and innocence, and just having a happy time, like, not for the sake of anything, just for the sake of happiness, you know, joy for the sake of joy. But what this card is kind of literally talking about is a opportunity that has opened up for you recently, maybe in the last couple of days, maybe in the last week, maybe in the last month. You'll know what it is for yourself. And you've seen these doors sort of metaphorically opening, and all you have to do now is walk through them. All you have to do is actually accept that this is the way that you need to go. And it might not be the easiest option, or it might not be the option that you are expecting, and which is why this is causing a little bit of delay in you. But what you can really do is just kind of just tell yourself, and when you sit with this energy, and just say, I might not know everything right now. I might not have the full 110% perspective on this right now. There might be things that I don't know about this situation, that I won't know until I go into it, that I won't know until I actually explore those avenues, okay? So there's definitely an opportunity for you here to really expand your horizons, and, you know, without sounding too hippy-dippy, kind of expand your consciousness a little bit as well. So this could have to do with something in your like your soul work, or your actual soul mission, you know, what you came here to do, or one of the things that you came here to do. As I talked about in a video, I think 2 or 3 videos back now, we are here to do lots of different things. It's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong, some people will have this, but most people come to do more than one thing, you know. They'll sign up for various lessons and various things that they need to learn, and then those situations will be put in their life, and then they will deal with them accordingly, okay? So, but this, I mean, this does feel like one of those opportunities, but it also feels like, I'm getting real holiday vibes. Obviously, I'm aware that no one can go on holiday at the moment because of COVID, but it could be that you're taking a trip in another way. I'm trusting maybe tripping is in, you know, potential sort of psychedelics and things, but that's each to their own. That kind of, you know, I say what comes up. So maybe it's just something as I don't want to say vanilla, but something as ordinary as taking a trip in your own mind, you know, meditation, going places, or kind of getting like astral projection now. So, you know, there are lots of different ways that you can take trips. There are lots of different ways that you can broaden your horizon and look what else there is above, you know, the veneer that you see at the moment. You can really explore that. And it's important that you understand that there is very, very little fear needed to explore these. You know, you don't need to hold on to fear. You don't need to be worried about what if this happens, what if that happens. You are completely protected, and you are completely guided through this. You just have to have the free will, because no one else can do it for you. They can't intervene, even if they wanted to. You have to make the decisions, and you have to really decide to make that, you know, to go for this. And until you have decided that, until you sort of tick that box next to that opportunity and you decide to walk through it, You are going to be wondering, you know, you are going to be asking some questions like, is there something else to this life? Is there something else to this experience? I feel like I'm missing out on something, you know. So if you have a feeling right now that you feel like you're missing out on something, the opportunity that has recently arisen for you is going to be the answer for that. It might not seem like it is. It might, like, how is that opportunity related to my, you know, spiritual evolution, or how is that opportunity related to my just personal achievements, you know. But wait until you get there, okay? You might meet some people, it really will not be what you expect, which is why it's important for you to stay open to these and not, like, poo-pah any ideas as soon as they come in, because there could be something else waiting for you there. Okay, we will grab a animal card. Seeing if there's anything else coming up. Some of you, my eye keeps going towards, I have a camera over there and I have a lens over there, and my eye keeps switching sort of between the two, and I wonder whether there's an element of being asked to look at what perspective you have, you know, look at if you need to change your lens in life, if you are, maybe you've been walking around without realising it with a macro lens, a close-up lens, looking at everything in incredibly fine detail and going into, you know, all these nuances and details of life, when maybe now the universe is calling for you, and now it's time for you to take off that macro lens and put on a wide angle lens, or put on a, you know, photographic, you know, like one of those that the paparazzi use. It's time for you to change your perspective on life, and it's going to be quite a big change. I think what they're saying is that you have been preparing for this, but you've not realised that you've been preparing for this, so you feel unprepared, but I'm telling you, you do have everything that you need to go forward with this, and it's only your self-doubt that is getting in the way. There's only the voice in your head that doubts whether you can do this, because it doesn't think that you're special enough, or it doesn't feel that you're entitled enough, or whatever. When in fact you are. Every single human has a right to the experience of joy, of higher joy, you know. So, yeah, okay, let's have a look what else we've got anyway. Ooh, the spider. Now that's interesting, because the spider is, let's just show you that. So see how Mr. Spider there is sitting in the middle of his web, and he's looking around him, well, this is what I'm picking up from it in particular today. So he's looking around all the different colours of his web, and he's kind of like, I feel like, just go with me here because this is a bit abstract, but so you've got this spider in his web, and he's been collecting all these different colours, he's been collecting all these different sort of ways of living, all these different, like I say, perspectives on things, you know. So he's got a red perspective over there, he's got a yellow perspective, he's got a blue perspective, and he's trying to decide which way to view the world, and he can't decide which perspective to take. So what he's done is he's just sat in the middle of all these perspectives, or looking at them. So it could be at the moment you're doing just some work that involves, like I was saying before with the lenses and the perspective, doing some work that is heavily going to impact the way you look at the world in the future. You're kind of in, you know, you could be having some conditioning removed as well. I think I talked about this in the last video, about there was somebody that was having a lot of conditioning that their parents had given them now removed, and they were kind of an empty shell for a bit, and then they started, you know, like seeing the world in a certain way and deciding how they wanted, you know, to see the world. So it could be there's a little bit of that going on. Let's just grab, yeah, okay, so we have the cheetah. Now I'm just trying to decide, because the very first thing I got as soon as I looked at this card is almost a message that said, why are you running so damn fast? Why are you chasing after this so damn fast? Why are you you've seen something you've got your eye on, you've seen that there's something in you that, you're seeing that there's something in you that you personally want to change. It's not necessarily a bad or a good thing. It's just you personally want to, you know, uphold whatever this is that you want to do. And you're kind of, I think you've got what I would call a little bit of tunnel vision going on. We actually do have quite similar imagery. If I just show you on the cheetah card, see like in the background how we've got those concentric circles going on in both the images, and I think what's happened is that, and in both the images, they're kind of stuck inside. They're in the heart of all these, you know, concentric circles and all this perspective and all this world. And what I'm now picking up is that, and the cheetah card is really triggered this for me. I have a great friend that says that life and just I'm not going to say this as elegantly as he could, but essentially healing in life, it's like an onion, and there are many different layers to it, and there's many layers that we peel, you know, and then we get to the next one, and then we peel that one, and we get to the next one, and we peel this one. I'm getting very strong vibes about, you know, the onion thing. I think what it is, I'm not sure whether somebody is stepping out of that healing because they've spotted something shiny in the corner, and they've decided that they don't want to peel, you know, they don't want to peel the layers of the onions anymore because it's too difficult, and they just want to, you know, they just want to dart off into another direction. Or whether it's somebody that has spotted that they have a lot of healing to do, and they've kind of, they're working very hard but not very smart. You know, they're putting in a lot of effort and a lot of work into whatever this is that they're trying to heal, whatever this situation is at the moment. They're getting a lot of traction and a lot of, you know, energy built up around it, but unfortunately it's not quite hitting the nail on the head. It's not quite the right frequency that it's needed to crack into this, you know, whatever this problem or whatever this situation is. It's really like making a lot of noise and complaining that no one can hear you, but what you're actually doing is just talking gibberish. You know, you're making the loudest person in the room isn't always the most correct one, if that was grammatically correct. And I think you're mistaking, or somebody is mistaking productivity for progress, basically. You know, action for progress, and not necessarily the same thing. But it's definitely not like all hope is lost and you know, you're buggered and you're doing it all wrong. That is the opposite of what I'm trying to say, because what's actually going on here is that you need to do this. You need to go into that mode of looking at things from perhaps not exactly the right way, because eventually what's actually going to happen is that you're going to get kind of deep into that if you haven't already, and then you're going to discover that that isn't the way, and then you're going to know the way because that wasn't the way. You know, it's kind of, you had two options in the beginning, you know, A and B, and you went for B, and you did actually want at a soul level to go for A, but you needed to go to B because you needed to know if you got to A and that was what you wanted, that you weren't at A thinking, oh, what if I'd have chosen B? What if B would have been better than A? Is this making sense? So you went to B because you needed to know what that was like. You know, you had these two options. You just wanted to discover, you know, the B option before you settled on the A option, just because you know that in the future you're going to look back and think, is A really all that? Is that really, you know, all that life has to offer? What if B would have been better? You know what, my life would have been so much better if I'd have just gone for the B option. You're in the B option now, and it's not really what you want, and you can tell yourself that, you know, when you get to the A option where you're supposed to be, that's where you're supposed to be. You know it so much more. It solidifies so much more, and you're not there thinking, sitting on your down days, oh, it would be better if I'm on B. Like, no. You can sit there thinking, okay, it's just a down day. I'm still on the right, you know, planet. I'm still on the right frequency. It's just a shitty day or whatever. Excuse my French. Okay, we're gonna go for the shaman deck again. Do you like this one? One sec. we have honouring your energy. Okay, this is a very interesting reading because it is really about knowing thyself, but also it's a very paradoxical reading actually, because it's about knowing thyself, but it's also about not being afraid to let go of thyself, not being afraid to kind of step out of your body in order to get back into it, to feel, you know, sometimes we don't know what we've got until we walk away from it. And it kind of feels a little bit chaotic at the moment, a little bit paradoxical, a little bit like, are you sure that's the right way? It doesn't really feel right. And this honouring your energy during all this, during all these processes that you're going through, it's important that you do listen to your body, you know, and you do listen to your inner voice that tells you when you can do the work and when you can't do the work, as in when you're prepared to do the work. You know, you might get up one morning and think that you want to do all this shadow work during the day, and then as soon as you get up, you get downstairs and you have a cup of coffee, you decide that, you know, you'd quite like to go to the shop, or you're feeling more called to do something else than, you know, doing whatever the work you're doing. And it also works the other way too. So you might get downstairs, think that you're going to go to the shop because, you know, you need so and so. You get downstairs and something just triggers in you and you just burst into tears, and that's it. That's your day now. You're going to be thinking about, you know, whatever it is that's irked you, whatever it is that's triggered you. So it's really important to go with the natural flow of what you yourself, you know, very, very personal thing this, but go with the natural flow of what your heart's telling you to do and what your body and your mind is prepared to tolerate as well. We can push ourselves past the point of comfort for the sake of healing, which is just, you know, it's a bit of a catch-22. I don't know, like it's not really it's counterproductive. That's the word I'm looking for. Began with C. I was getting somewhere. But yeah, I think it's just really important to honour your energy at this time. And if there are some days that you don't feel like doing any shadow work, or you don't feel like doing any healing work, or you just feel like sitting there and meditating all day, that's absolutely fine. You have plenty of time to do this. There is no rush. Do not put over pressure on yourself to do certain things. I understand, because I feel this too, that there are changes, big changes happening in the world that people need to be prepared to cope with, because people's mental health is going to be suffering a lot over the next 10 to 12 years particularly. And people in the general public are going to need figures to look up to. You know, they're going to need people to go to when they're feeling really bad. They're going to need guidance. That's what they're going to need, guidance. And you kind of already know that you're one of those people that's going to be, you know, guiding people, or as the, you know, in the spiritual community you might say ushering people into the new age. I tend to avoid that just because we are transitioning into a new age. Like, I mean, this will take maybe centuries. This isn't going to be an overnight thing. This is going to take, you know, you could be born and die during a transitional phase. It's not like you're born in the age of Pisces and then you die in the age of Aquarius. Like maybe that would be the case for me, because there is some argument that the age of Aquarius started when my birth year was. Now, I don't think, like I'm saying about, now astrologically, yes, there are some events that coincide with that, but it's the energetic process rather than the physical manifestation. It's going to take a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot more of a gradual thing. So definitely, sorry, something freaked me out outside and I've lost my train of thought, but we were talking about honouring the energy. That's what it was. It was when I said don't rush, the reason you might feel called to rush is because you do know that there is a vast, great importance on getting people healed, getting people solid so that they can cope with things for when the world does start to change, and when we do start to see structures of power and structures of authority break down, we can cope with it better. Because I sent a message to a friend last night, and in this message was the quote, or was it, authority is a poor man's god, and I think that's what has happened. I'm not going to go too big into this because it'll be another video, but essentially what has happened is that people have looked sort of rejected religion, and subconsciously attached what was attached to religion to something else, to people in positions of power. So but eventually sort of the spiritual movement will start to move, you know, a little bit more, and things will be broken down in different ways for different people to understand, and different perspectives, like we were talking about earlier. Okay, so very, very heavy on perspectives here. I'm just seeing if there's anything else on these cards, because we have so in this big card is at the top, it says golden opportunity, and then we have the sun here, and then we have a lot of orange, and I think I'm just picking up the colour gold. Okay, big, like there's I'm kind of getting the message. I don't know like who specifically this is for, but like it's okay to go for shiny gold things. I don't really know what that means, but like it's okay to go for things that other people might think like, oh, why would you want that? That's just a shiny thing. That's got no real value. That's just a thing. That's just material. You know, there is this big push away from materialism, you know, into spiritualism. And we have to be careful that we don't do exactly the same thing with spirituality that we've done with materialism, which is suck the living daylight out of it and squeeze the damn thing dry until it you know, we until it no longer fits what we want. Because there is nothing inherently wrong with materialism. There is nothing wrong with wanting something physical. You know, I mean, the microphone I'm using right now is physical. The cards that I'm reading on are physical. My body is physical. My hair is physical. There's nothing wrong with those material things. It's just when people become dependent on them and overestimate their value in their life, and they start to sort of say, okay, if I had this material thing, then I'll be happy. But what we have to watch out for is that we don't do that with spirituality, which is, okay, if I knew that about the world, I'll be happy. If I know, if I have that particular spiritual awakening, I'll be happy. If I take shrooms or DMT or ayahuasca or any kind of psychedelic, LSD, you know, I'll be happy. I'll know it all. I'll have my mind blown, and the people, you know, the spirit people and the spirit world will show me what the truth is, and I'll be fine. That isn't necessarily the case. Okay, everyone's journey is very, very, very different, and I'm not going to talk for too long because I'm on 23 minutes now, but everyone's journey is different, and you don't know what the work that people have done in previous lives is either. It's very easy to criticise someone who appears to have life just easy, you know, and they just seem to, you know, talk on Instagram about like, oh, just think happy and you'll have loads of money, and people criticise people for that. And it's like, you don't know what they did in their previous life to get that skill. You don't know how many lives that they worked in order to earn that. Karma is obviously on their side for a reason, okay? And you don't know, again, if most of these people are still quite young, when they get older, what their life is going to be like. You know, they might wake up one day and just be like, oh, this wasn't the life I really wanted, and I've been lying to myself the entire time, and I'd quite like to, you know, bugger off somewhere else and come away from social media, and I'm not really bothered about money, and I'm going to give everything away, and, you know, you just don't know. So concentrate on yourself, and I would think that, you know, life will make more sense, if that makes sense. But anyway, I've really enjoyed this reading. It's been a little bit different. Had a slightly different energetic feel to it. I don't know whether that's just because I'm a wee bit tired today. But yeah, overall very positive though. I know I talked about feeling like you're going down the wrong path, but that's only because you need to go down that path, like I explained earlier, so you'll know which one is the quote unquote right one. But yeah, okay, so just super like prosperity, abundance, golden, gratitude. A gratitude practice might benefit, you know, appreciating what you have. But yeah, I think that's it message wise. So hopefully I will see you in another video. I love you all so much. Like, it's you're just amazing. And I will see you in another life. Bye bye.